But look, it is 400 years since 1619, since the first slaves were brought over here. Reflect on that, but also on how you have really wanted to bring Afro music, the Afrobeat, into a wider world. And you don't like the idea of world music, how it's called. I mean, you won your Grammys, but in the world category. What does that mean today?
Well, it means that we haven't learned yet that every music that we do today comes from Africa. We like it or not, that's just the simple fact and truth of it. It is true. Everywhere you turn, everywhere I turn as a musician, I've always found my continent in it, especially my country. Blues comes from the songs of the slave. The blue note has been created by the Africans. I mean, jazz has been created by African descendants. So for me, music is just what we are, the mixture that we are from the beginning. As a human being, we are mixed. There's no such a thing as a pure race. And I don't understand why supremacy is, because supremacy has to be a higher level of morality, a higher standard in life. It cannot be killing people. It cannot be hating people. Because you're talking about supremacy and hate, those things don't go together. So for me, Africans that came here, the African American didn't migrate here like the Irish, like any other people. They have been forced to come here. They have created the wealth of this country, and they have created the wealth of Europe. That's slavery. Today, we don't want to talk about it. We blame Africans for slavery. Of course, it comes as a business proposal to the king, and they thought it was going to be a good thing. The lie that had been told to them, they bought the lie, and here we are today. But to make a long story short, I think we ought to always think about the fact that the genesis of the crime committed for the rich country to come is in the blood and sweat of African people. And that model of slavery is also implemented in business, because we Africans are not free. They say we have independence. Which independence are you talking about? The raw material we have in our country, we don't define the price of the raw material. The price of oil is not decided by the leaders of Africa. We have the wealth, but the wealth is in the hand of the Westerners still so far, with, of course, the help of our leaders that just really facilitate the job for them. So for me as a musician, what I say to people is, we that come from that painful story, how do we create a different narrative? How do we show the world that despite all the wrong that people have done to us, we are still human beings, and we are still willing to create bonds between us? We don't have the choice. We cannot live without each other. It does not matter what skin color you have. We have to live together. And it's something that I learn every day, especially when, as a UNICEF Guru Ambassador, we go to villages. And you see all those kids suffering. When you face a child soldier, when you face a teenager that have been raped constantly in a conflict, and you have no words to touch them, and you start singing and you see a smile, that's the power of music. And it's something that makes me humble, makes me come to the core of it and say, as a human being, what do I have to bring?